Okay, well, welcome everyone. We are so happy to see you all here. We are so grateful that you're here supporting the Animal Pad. They truly deserve it. They're an incredible, incredible organization, as you all know. Um, and so we can't thank you enough for being here. My name is Karen Dendy Smith, and I am the founder and one of the directors of the Animal Communication Collective. And we are collaborating with Lauren and the Animal Pad to do this event this evening. Um, and 100% of the proceeds are going straight to Lauren and the Animal Pad. So we're doing this as complete volunteers out of the goodness of our hearts because we love the animals and we want to give them a voice and we want to help give your animals a voice. So I just want to explain briefly who the ACC actually is. And then I'm going to hand it over to Lauren to talk about TAP for a few minutes. So the Animal Communication Collective, we are a group of, gosh, I think we're about 35 women now who have all graduated from the same school. We are professionally certified in animal communication. It was quite a rigorous program that we went through, a good year of training to do this. And we all have come together as alumni to found this group where we work with rescues and shelters and welfare organizations, animal welfare organizations all around the country and actually around the world. The way we do it is we do these events online where we are psychically connecting to your pets, your animals, and communicating and sharing their messages with you. So tonight, get ready if we pick you to have a question ready. And I love to tell this story in short because people always say, how the heck did you guys even come up with this idea? And it was really a strange story. Um, Jody's already laughing because she knows this story. Um, I had just graduated from the program and my husband and I were out at a dinner after going to a wake for somebody whose mom had just passed. And we were sitting there quietly talking about the whole thing. And he said, so what are you going to do with this new thing that you've accomplished? Besides, like, how do you get clients and what are you going to do? I said, well, yeah, I want to get clients, but really the main point of doing this was to give animals a voice. And animals have so much to share. And I feel like people could really use their help. And all of a sudden, I felt this sense of my cat, Hockey Puck, who had passed away, which is why I even went to school to do this work. Because I wanted to talk to him. He came in and I can feel him now. I'm getting chills from him. He came in and said, you have to help more than just one at a time. There's lots of us that need help. And the way to do it is to communicate through these rescues and shelters where a lot of us are there already and a lot of people who already care about their animals and really want to understand how they can make the world a better place for them. And the people who are saving us need your help. That was really what downloaded to me. So I blurted all this out and then I brought it to our monthly meeting that we all go to as part of the school. And I told these guys what I heard and it was immediate. A whole bunch of people jumped in. We all worked on it together. A lot of them are here tonight. The originators of all of this with me, Jody and Pamela and Meredith, and we all came together and developed this group and it just took off. It was pretty amazing. So here we are 4 years later, because we started this during the pandemic when fundraising was really needed and no one could go to events anymore. And so it has just kept going. And we have been working with you, Lauren, I think for 3 years now, right? Like almost since the beginning. So
Yeah,
we love
really
this. We
time.
love doing this with you.
It's always cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to hand it over to Lauren so that you can explain who TAP is for those who
Yeah.
don't know you directly.
I have to show Pearl because she's getting very active right now as she tries to eat dinner. But
Oh,
hey everybody. I'm Lauren with the Animal Pad. Thank you guys so much for being here and thank you to all of the communicators for being here too. This is always so fun. And if I'm being 100% honest, not only is this a very fun event, but it is something that requires very little of us as volunteers. And to be honest, we have a lot of things going on all the time. So being able to have a fundraiser that can bring in enough to support, a major surgery that we have that one of our dogs needs, and you guys do so much of the hard work, and then we're here to just promote it and help however we can, and then get to attend and have a great time. We don't have many fundraisers that are like this, so it's always fun for us. It's always appreciated. Thank you guys so much. We're really excited for doing this today, specifically too, being the connection with Dia de los Muertos and the animals visit, like the visitations that happen today. So I'm hopeful that we'll have a lot of cool stories and cool things that you guys feel coming through to share. This is Pearl, and I already shared if you guys watched the live, if you happen to see it. This is Pearl. She's a dog that on my very first meeting with these ladies, I had just picked her up in Northern California. I didn't know if she was going to survive. She was just very much there, didn't really have much of a personality that she has today. Her body still doesn't work super well, but she is doing it every single day and definitely proving that she wants to be around. And on my very first meeting ever, I had just gotten back from Northern California, and that's where I had picked her up. We were hopping on the call, and I was a little bit flustered because I was running about 10 minutes late. And I hate that when I'm first meeting somebody. And I remember saying that, so sorry, I have this dog that I'm a little bit, confused on what to do. And immediately the ladies here were like, can we communicate with her? And I was like, yes, please. And basically I was told, give it until Tuesday. It was like a Friday. Give it until Tuesday. She'll tell you if she wants to be around, how you can support her, how you can advocate for her. And on Tuesday, she looked me dead in the eye and just picked her head up for the first time. She had no neck strength and barked at me. And now knowing her, that's her iconic bark of like, feed me or pay attention to me, do something for me. And that was the first time I had seen personality come out on her. So I was basically like, let's just keep going. And 2.5 years later, she is my dog. She is thriving. And I mean, yeah, she couldn't lift her head up. And now she is, I mean, if I were to walk away, she would do the worm across the floor trying to get to me. So she is a super cool dog. And I feel like you ladies were the ones that kind of made me believe in her and my ability to kind of listen to her and what she needed. So super cool. I always like to share that because that was a huge part of our lives together, the start of it. So now she's being crazy. But we are the Animal Pad. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. You probably know us, hopefully. If not, welcome and thanks for being here. But we rescue primarily from Baja, Mexico. We also rescue from high kill shelters in California in general. Some dogs from Northern California, dogs from this year, Mississippi. We took in dogs from Guam this year. We took in dogs from the Bahamas this year, kind of everywhere. We say that we're an all breed, all need rescue. So anywhere the wind blows us, where there's a dog in need, we're kind of a last chance for many of the dogs we take in. So thank you, because being here today supports all of these dogs that otherwise wouldn't have a chance. So we are super grateful. I wanted to remind everyone that this is going to be recorded today, so we can play it back. You can watch it later. People who couldn't attend can watch it. You're giving permission to be recorded basically by being on this, just so you're aware. You should leave your cameras on if you are interested in receiving a reading, because that is how the readers will communicate, and you'll only be selected for a reading if your camera's on. So just something to note. Also, we have raffle tickets that may be purchased until a set time during the event, which we will share. But if you are, if you've purchased raffle tickets already, but what is happening feels like something that you want to be a part in further, you can go and you can definitely use that same link to get more raffle tickets. You can, if you haven't purchased any yet, purchase raffle tickets. Again, 100% of the funds raised from that is going back to the dogs as well. And then at the end, we are going to select 5 people from all the raffle tickets, and we will be, the ladies have offered free readings to those 5 people, and that will be a one-on-one and definitely a more private thing than what we're doing today. But this is awesome. I hope you guys enjoy. I'm super excited to just kind of kick back and listen. And if you have any questions about our rescue at all, feel free to message me separately, or you can put them in the chat. But that's all I've got.
Thank you, Lauren. So just really quickly, so we can get started, we're going to introduce ourselves so you know who each of us is. Like you already know me, Karen Denny Smith, founder, director, crazy lady that headed up this thing, and crazy cat lady, as you know. And but I also have a background in soul level intuitive coaching, which means working with people and their spirit guides. I also have been studying Chinese energy medicine for 20 something years, and I teach Qigong and I do energy work, a form called Penghu Shengong. And I am a retired and recovering marketing and advertising person. I left my branding company to do this full time a few years ago, and I've never looked back. So I am so grateful to the animals for helping me change my life. That's what they are here for, to do, is to help us change our lives for the better. And my animals certainly did that for me. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, by the way. We like to share where we're from. And I'm going to pass it over to Jody to say hi.
Hello, thanks, Karen. My name is Jody Crotty, and I live just north of Karen in Lee, New Hampshire, which is a very small town. As Karen mentioned, I'm a soul level animal communicator. I'm also a pet loss professional, so I help grieving families with the loss of their pets. I'm also the author of Do You Talk with Animals? It's a children's book that helps get children into their intuition and be creative and use their imagination. So it's kind of right there behind me too. And so again, I'm so happy to have all of you here. I'm very, very excited to share messages from the animals, and I'm going to actually pass it off to, I think I'm passing it off to Donna. Am I passing it off to Donna? I think I'm passing it off to Donna. Welcome.
I'll take it. Hi, everyone. I'm Donna Norris. I'm coming to you from South Florida, a little island off the coast of southern tip of Florida. And I am also a soul level animal communicator, an intuitive, a psychic, and medium for people as well as animals. I'm a Reiki practitioner, a crystal healer, and I'm just very happy to be here. I can't wait for this to get going. Thank you. And I guess I will pass it to Pamela.
Hello, my name is Pamela Revercombe, and I live in upstate New York, up near Lake Ontario, in a little town called Cazenovia, New York. I grew up on a farm, so I've been around animals all my life. I am a soul level animal communicator and a soul level intuitive coach. I also do Reiki, and I am a holistic life coach through the Edgar Cayce Institute. I love doing these events. It's just wonderful the things that you do in your organizations for the animals. So we love to be a part of it. I think that's it.
Wonderful. And Jody Jacobs, just wave your hand and say hi. She hates this. She hates being on camera, but she is our ambassador. So just say hi quick, Jody, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't know about the animal pad.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here to support TAP.
And Jody is very private. She's not an animal communicator. I'm outing you, but she is a Reiki master and animal chaplain, right, Jody?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome. All right. So I think that is it. So let's just talk for a second about what is animal communication. It is telepathic communication. Animals communicate like this all the time. It's why your dog's waiting for you at the door. It's why your cats are waiting for you when you come home. It's why the dog and the deer are friends, because animals are constantly emitting vibration toward each other and sharing pictures and emotions all the time with each other. That's how they communicate. It's why we know when our dogs are hungry weirdly at odd moments, or that, somebody's thirsty and we weren't thinking about it before. So they are trying to do this with us all the time. And what we learned to do was raise our vibration and lighten up our vibration in order to send and receive at the level that and the frequency at which they share information. It just means that we have to be in a more receptive state and not as pushy as humans are used to being with our intentions. We have to be able to be in a lighter, gentler place. And so when we're communicating with them, we're offering information toward them and waiting for them to pick it up and then send something back to us. And at that level, we're sharing at kind of a beyond language level, I guess is what I would say. So it's really cool. And you're going to get to see that tonight. Okay, so Jody, what do we need for this evening? What are we asking people for to get them ready?
All right. So for tonight, as Lauren had mentioned earlier, if your camera is on, then we can intuitively choose you. I love seeing everybody's faces. They're so amazing. So what we need from, if we do choose you, we're going to start with the animal's name, the species of the animal. So what kind of animal it is. Keep it simple. It doesn't have to be breeds or anything like that. Just the species, dog, cat, fish, horse, guinea pig, whatever. Keep it simple. And then we would need to know if the animal is alive or in spirit. And then your question for the animal, just one question. And the less information that we know, the better the reading for you, the better that the information, and it's getting their perspective. So one question for the animal. So again, the animal's name, what kind of animal it is, the species, if that animal is alive or in spirit, and then the question for the animal. And then just make sure that your camera is on. And so I think I've covered it, Karen. I'm pretty
Thank you.
good.
And we have one more person we need to introduce.
Yes, I did
Mel,
see that.
say
Do you want
hi.
to take that?
Hi, I'm Mel. I'm helping out with tech support today. I'm based out of Seattle, Washington. I'm also a soul level intuitive coach, soul level animal communicator. I do Reiki and work with animals for healing, and I also practice Pango Shingon. So excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mel. I didn't forget you. I had a momentary blip in my brain. Okay, so now we're really ready. Yes? All right, so Jody and I are going to team up first. You're going to see us do this work in pairs. So Jody and I are going to team up first to pick someone for a reading. And where did she go? Her dog was all over the place. Oh, Rachel.
Karen, you must be like an animal communicator or something, because that's what I was
Were you
trying
going to pick
to.
Rachel too?
I was going to pick Rachel.
Rachel.
I wrote it
Hi.
down.
Well, first of all, I'm from Durham, New Hampshire, so you're really close to where I'm from.
Oh my goodness.
Yay.
I moved to San Diego last year from Boston, where I lived the last 8 years, but I grew up in Durham.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
Yeah,
And
so
I don't
I'm one of my East Coast ladies. I miss it out there, but I love it out here. So hope you're doing well.
We are.
Oh, thank you.
Good.
Great.
So tell us, who are we talking to?
I have 3 dogs with me right now. One I'm pet sitting, one is my foster, and then one is my dog. So I guess my dog I should pick unless Lauren thinks I should do hugs.
No, do what you feel in your heart.
Yeah, do what you choose.
Okay. I have my dog. This is Raina.
Raina. Rayna.
It's Reina.
Raina. Female.
Yeah.
And what is your question for her?
I never really can read her sometimes, like how she's doing, like physically. So I guess that's my question.
Okay.
Because
How
she's
does
very high energy a lot of the time and always acting good. But she gave
Don't
me
tell us. Don't
Okay.
tell us anything yet. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to ask Raina, what does she want her mom, Rachel, to know about how she's feeling? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just take a minute to get connected with Raina.
Look, it's Pearl. Do you know Pearl? See Pearl? Yeah.
So Karen, is it okay if I go
Yeah,
ahead?
you go right ahead.
So Rachel, right away when I connect in with Raina, I'm seeing this little like bouncy thing that's going like this all of the time. And she's talking super fast and she's so she's bouncing like this, lots of energy, but it's very vibrant and it's so bright. So as she's bouncing, look, I'm even getting excited. And it's interesting because I'm very similar to in that energetic pattern. So I'm bouncing with her. So she's bouncing like this, but literally full of love, full of joy. And the word that she's showing, that keeps showing me, is vibrant. Like this, you cannot contain this soul of a little animal. She's fantastically bright. She's also very intelligent, going along with the vibrant. So you might not think that she knows what you're talking about, but she, Rachel, is on top of it, more than you think that she's on top of things. Does that
I
make
think
sense?
she knows pretty well how I'm feeling. She's my emotional support animal, so I think I know how like, I know she's very smart, but there's some things she doesn't talk to me about or like communicate, and it's like, I guess.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So don't give us too much information. Just
oh,
does that make sense, or does that resonate with you? Indicative
yeah,
of her.
it really does, because we actually have spoken to one other animal communicator, and she said that Reina's personality is very vibrant and bright, and
Perfect.
Mhm.
okay,
Awesome.
so
Karen, what do you?
when she came in, Rachel, I also got from her, I mean, I had to write some super clean, super pure energy. Really, I saw the really, really bright energy as well.
Mhm.
And she has this really incredibly open channel to energy all around her. And it's not mired in anything. It's a really clean energy. She also wants me, she's telling me that her frequency actually clears stuff out of your house for you.
It does.
She's like an energetic balancer and clearer, because it's really interesting. I don't usually hear, but I'm hearing this really high pitched sound. Like that's how high up her frequency vibrates at. It's like a super clean,
Wow.
high vibration. So I'm going to stop there and just ask her now, what does she want us to know about how it feels like to be in her body and what she needs, while I let Jody continue from there.
So Rachel, when I connected with her, again, super bouncy. And when I ask her, how does she feel in her body? Is there anything that Rachel wants her to know? Um, she just feels so comfortable with you because you allow her to be her, and to have that kind of companionship with her. You allow her to be silly, you allow her to be goofy. But then if there's something that you want to discuss with her, she is front and center listening right away. So how does she feel in her body? She's so comfortable and warm and inviting. Again, that vibrant piece of her. She just admires you so much that it vibrates, as Karen was saying, at kind of a different frequency. But for me, I literally, and she's now showing me, you know how sometimes when a little kid has to go to the bathroom and they do like the pee pee dance?
Does she have to
Um,
go?
no,
Oh,
but this is what she's showing me, indicative of like how she feels. There's just so much love within her that
yeah,
it can't be contained. It's so much love and comfort and warmth that she has for you, and she knows that you have that for her. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah. We have a pretty special bond, I'd say, but everyone has a really special bond with their dog. We've just been through a lot of things together that aren't normal things, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure. Karen, what do you got?
So when I asked her, Rachel, what does she need? Like, what would be helpful for us to know? What does she need in her body to keep her healthy? And because she said, you want to make sure she stays healthy, is really what she told me. She
Yeah.
told me clean food,
Okay.
really clean food. And by
Okay.
that, I mean like clean human grade food. She showed me whitefish, showed me kefir, kefir, broths, vegetables, gently cooked, maybe not pure raw, but gently cooked, like super clean, healthy food.
Okay.
So that her gut she doesn't get heavy. She doesn't want to feel bogged
Yeah.
down by muddy food, I guess is what she showed me. And she's making me show you this book, okay? Because I wait for the end. Have you ever seen this book?
I haven't, but that's really interesting because
Yeah.
I didn't share a big detail of what she's going through with you guys because you said
Okay.
not to, but should I share it now or later?
As long as we've gotten you the answers and we're wrapping up your reading, because this is actually really important for her health and her diet and her skin. So
Her dog.
it's the Forever Dog. Maybe Mel can put the link to the book in the chat for you guys. So you can pull it out of there.
Okay.
Okay, so if that answers your questions, then you can give us a backstory if you'd like.
Yeah. So Reina is she actually has kidney disease, and it's a pretty chronic kidney disease that she's been diagnosed with for like 4 years now. So I'm constantly living like every day scared of, oh, what is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So so she's had a lot of changes this year with her food and diet after a scare in June, I believe it was, after we came back from a hiking trip. So she's on a special kidney diet, and she gets this really good like kidney food. So I'm kind of shocked. She's like, get me more food, but she loves to eat, so that makes sense. She would eat anything in the world, and right now we're pet sitting at someone's house, and she's just standing out on the back porch, just looking at the birds flying by, and
Nice.
she really is as sweet as possible, and I got very lucky with her, but I never know how
Wonderful.
like her kidneys are doing, so that's always like one of my biggest questions.
Um, and you know, you can look up, I'm just going to tell you this too. You can look up Dr. Katie Woodley if you don't know her already. She's got some fantastic videos on YouTube. She talks about gut health and organ health and how food can actually reverse a lot of this stuff. So,
Okay, cool. Yeah. We've seen a lot of different vets over the time and everything.
yeah.
And my uncle is a vet back east. So you actually, if you're in Lee, and he works in Lee, so that's funny.
Oh, that's so
Um,
funny.
yeah, that's
Okay.
funny. But yeah, but thank you so much. That's really helpful to hear. And I love being able to jump on calls like this to communicate with her, because like I said, this was our second reading we've done, and it was really, really cool. And so cool to like get it done the first time, because I actually won that from a tap raffle as well. So
Oh, fantastic.
yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
she's a beautiful, beautiful soul.
Thank
So,
you. I'm
and
very, very lucky to have her.
yeah, that's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Rachel.
Rachel.
Thank you. Let me unmute. You don't get to hear me all day.
All right, Jody, you're up next with Donna.
All right. Thank you again. That was wonderful. So Donna, are you ready?
I am ready. Are you feeling
Awesome. Awesome.
well?
So, also there was somebody else, as soon as they came in, I was drawn to her right away. Christine C. Oh my God. Did you see?
Hello.
Hi, Christine.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm so well. I'm so honored to be called upon tonight. And hi, Karen.
God, this is so weird. Are you okay if we read your animal, Donna and I?
I would be thrilled. Yes.
Okay.
Honored.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So again, just as a reminder, kind of keep it simple. So the name, the species, if the animal is alive or in spirit, and your question. So
Yeah.
who would you like us to connect it with?
So being Dia de los Muertos, I've been really connected to a horse who passed away this summer.
The horse's name,
Red.
Red
Yeah,
horse, and he's crossed over.
he has. Yeah.
And what's your question for Red?
Oh, I just feel so connected in my heart, even in this space. I'm looking for some guidance in kind of a challenging time from him.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you would like us to, and Donna, let me know if this feels okay.
Mhm.
What is it that you would like Christine to know at this time?
Yeah, that was good.
He's already correcting me about the guidance part. So, ah, so how does that feel to you, Donna? Does that feel okay?
That feels good. Yeah, I think so.
Oh my God.
Excellent.
All right, Christine, just give us a moment and we're going to connect in with Brad, okay?
Thank you so much.
And please feel free to jump in, Donna, if you get right away before, okay?
Okay. Christine, what I'm immediately getting is that he is a climber and he is an adventurer. He's climbing up like a hilltop, but it's somewhat rocky and somewhat, soil and rocks and getting up to the top. And you could just feel, the wind blowing in his face and he just feels so free. And then he'll just now he's going trotting back down and almost like at a canter, just getting down this hill, having such a great time. And I hear freedom. I don't know if that resonates with you or if that geography makes sense for you. But he's having a blast. We're
I'm thrilled.
loving it.
So Christine, very similar to what Donna was saying. I don't know if you've ever seen the romance cover, like the novel romance covers. So very similar. This big, strong, masculine being with hair blowing in the wind. There's so much magnificence about him, and he's just standing proud on top of this cliff, like, and the wind is blowing, and he is so free. There's nothing that can contain this, and he's being a little facetious too, like he was kind of full of himself. So because he was presenting in this big, and his chest is like huge, and he's making me feel like I just want to like lay up against his chest. He was just so massive and so beautiful in that sense. But it's very similar to what Donna, but I get, the romance novel, good looking man on the front with the hair kind of blowing in this. But again, of being free, like you can't contain him. But then there's that you couldn't contain him when he was here because he was so like and he was so, I don't want to say full of himself, but he was very confident in who he was or he is as a soul. So that kind of comes through as well. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, he is one of the most heroic, noble. He's a retired racehorse, and he rides that way. He presents that way, and he's so honorable. A lot of just such a he's such a distinguished horse. So the freedom is what really resonates right now too. Yeah.
I also feel like I'm being made aware that he was aware that he was intimidating to some people, but that he didn't intend to be. He just had this presence about him, and he carried himself proudly, I guess, from his training as a racehorse.
Yeah.
He's feels like he was very intimidating to certain people, and he would have to come up and lower his head to help make them feel more comfortable. Does that make sense?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So when I ask him, oh, go ahead, Donna.
No, I was just going to say, he was showing me an image of his forehead against yours, and that was like one of your favorite things to do together.
Yeah, we really like bowed to each other. We saw each other as such, and we had a very soulful connection.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Go ahead, Jody.
So when I ask him about the guidance, he's really kind of pushing you to kind of own who you are, just the way that he did. So he's really kind of encouraging you still from the other side, own your stuff, because Christine, you have this amazing soul, and he wants kind of the world to see it in a way. So if there's something that you're passionate about, he's kind of like really pushing you forward in the sense, because now I feel like he's kind of like doing this, even though I'm not like, there's a little bit of resistance from you, that the resistance of like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I should do this. And he's like, honey, you go. And he's like pushing you right forward because again, he has that confidence in you. And so he's trying to get you to see that confidence in yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if there's something that you want to do, feel his presence, feel this magnificent push, energetically speaking, from behind, because he's guiding you every step of the way. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
He's so cool to kind of have in your corner. It's so like he's an amazing soul. So continue to push yourself kind of out of your comfort zone a little bit and know that you've got his presence, you've got your own. So just do it. Like the Nike ad, just do it.
Oh my goodness. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And for me, he's making me aware of showing me his presentation of you as a ballet dancer, and you're dancing and you're up on your toes. And you know how sometimes in the ballet, they'll go almost all the way to the edge of the stage and then they'll just be like poised and then turn around and sweep and go back across the stage. But what he's showing me is that you're right on the precipice of doing something, but you're still walking between two worlds. And it's like it's trying to weigh pros and cons. And yeah, I'm hearing like an analysis and like analysis paralysis, like just being stuck in the what do I could do this or I could do this or I don't know. And he's saying, it's not like they can kick you off the planet. You can do something different if it just doesn't work out. But he feels like, do what makes your heart sing.
Yeah.
You're poised and ready and you've got everything you need to make this happen.
Wow.
So
Wow.
beautiful. Are you a
Oh,
dancer?
he and I used to dance. We used to do the Spanish trot together. He had some dressage
Oh,
moves, so it doesn't seem so surprising. But you
wow.
know what? I have to say, there's something so heartfelt about just choosing to be in center stage and choosing to do this fully. I feel like I've been so close, and I think I've been like racked with grief. It's been really hard he was my leader, you know what I mean? So I think I know he's in spirit and we're working together, but this is just such validation to keep going.
Oh, good. I'm
Yeah.
pleased that you're happy.
Thank you so much. This
Does
is
that
such
feel complete for you then?
very much so. Like
Oh,
beyond. Thank you so much.
thank you.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
a
amazing.
it's a
That
real
was
gift.
amazing.
Thank you so much. I have had chills like 3 times, so thank you. A lot of resonance here. I will be taking this home. Very, very heartfelt. Thank you.
Thank you for
Beautiful.
sharing him with us. He's an amazing, amazing soul.
Yeah, he is.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Pamela, are you ready? I think we're going to team up here.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Have you felt a pull toward anyone in particular? Is there an animal calling to you, Pamela?
Oh, you go ahead.
I have been drawn to the Nilu Marani couple. Would you like to have a reading?
Hi, yes, of course. We would love it. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
So,
So, we're gonna grab the dog is the species. Her name
okay,
is Seiba, Ceiba. She was
okay,
looking at the
and it's
ground, which is great.
female.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
Seiba.
Oh,
She's
lovely.
a little camera shy, I guess.
That's okay. She doesn't need to be in the camera, but she's awfully lovely. She's
Oh,
beautiful.
thank
Sweet
you.
lady. I
Thank
love her
you.
ears.
I know that's my favorite thing about her.
So
Um,
tell us, what would your question be for her?
so our question is, she is very independent. We've noticed she like is alone, like she likes to be alone a lot. And we don't know if that's something that she wants or if she thinks that that's what we want. And we're just curious, kind of like where kind of what are her thoughts on the independence? Like, does she want a sibling that's another dog? Like, kind of just that whole question of does she like being independent? Does she wish she could be with us more? Does she think that we want her to be alone? Like that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
I'm trying to formulate that into one question, because I
Yes,
heard you
it
ask about a sibling perhaps as well.
Yeah.
So this feel of what would you like mom and dad to know about whether you like being on your own or whether you would like company? Does
Yes.
that make sense?
Yes.
Pamela, does it feel good for you?
That makes sense. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll just take a moment to tune in, and Pamela, feel free to jump in if you get something.
Okay. All right. I did get something. The first thing I got from, and it's Seba. Is that the right way to say it?
Seba.
Seba. When I asked the question was, and it was as if he,
She.
I'm doing great here. Okay, so she almost changed it around to say, well, let me tell you why I like to do independent things. And she showed me that she uh, likes to watch. She likes to observe things. But she feels like she will go by herself sometimes just to observe what you're doing. And I don't know how that relates to being separate, but she feels like that's one of the reasons that she'll go by herself and be there for a while, so she can just sort of observe and take things in. I'm also getting a little bit of that helps her feel comfortable in a new situation or with different things that you do that she observes.
Mm.
So I can get more from that. Let's see.
I'm being made aware that she's got a little bit of achiness, and so she will sometimes just take herself away to rest and have some time where she can just sit and or lay in the sun or lay on her bed and just kind of and get some rest and rejuvenate.
I asked her directly about how would you feel? Would you like to have someone else like to play with, to do things with? And she sort of was like she wouldn't mind doing play, but doesn't seem like she's that energetic about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Not like she wants to run and chase balls and stuff like that all the time. So she's pretty comfortable being with herself and the pace that you have. I felt that the pace that you have and the interactions you have, that she's really comfortable with that.
Mm.
She doesn't seem to feel lacking, that there should be more to that.
Okay.
And so what I'm seeing is like as if she's up on her hind legs and she's sitting up with her paws and she's just doing like calm, showing me calm. And then I'm seeing like, like a lake when there's no wind and the water's just like glass. It's just peaceful. And she enjoys the peace. She, when I asked her if she would like to have, another friend, I wouldn't really call it an eye roll, but she was just like, I don't know. Not a puppy.
That checks out.
Yeah, I even feel it's almost like she has sort of a philosophical outlook on life.
Yeah.
She's sort of
Very
a little
zen.
zen, contemplating things and taking in her experience.
Mm.
It's a little different for a dog. I mean, it seems like she just she's comfortable. I get that again, that she's comfortable with who she is and what's going on.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, the vet has told us that she's around 2 to 3 years old, and we thought she was like 15 years old because she's so calm and like, I don't know how you describe her. She's
Wise
like a
beyond her
wise
years.
old lady.
Yeah, that like contemplating her
Exactly.
things that happen in her life and thinking them
Yeah.
out. Zen, she
She's
feels.
very zen. I agree with that. And that was, I mean, I guess like the question about the independence, I mean, it fits her personality. It fits the zen thing, like the calm, like that all totally makes sense. We were worried that maybe there was something going on. Like it's okay if she wants to be alone and be independent. That's totally fine with us. We just wanted to make sure that that's what she wanted. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can check in
Well,
and
she is.
see how
Oh, go
she
ahead.
feels in her body a little bit too. I'll do that. So go ahead.
Okay. She is showing me like a leash and wanting to go like outside with you guys. I don't know if this walking is part of what you do, but it's one of her like things that she would like to do. She likes knowing where you are all the time, but you guys are fairly steady and calm, and I don't want to say sedate, but you're easy for her to keep up with in her mind.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
But
sense.
to get out and go for a
We are
walk and get
pretty
some fresh air,
sedate.
she would enjoy. Pardon?
I mean, yeah, we do. go on walks. He takes her on more walks than I do. I wish I could do more walks with her. I should do more walks. He does most of the walks with her, but yeah, like I would say our lifestyle is very like calm. We don't have any kids or anything yet. And so yeah, what you said totally makes sense. And I want to say something, but I'm going to wait till the end because I don't want to give too much information.
Okay.
I did ask her a little bit about how she feels in her body, you know, comfort, and it's sort of like the same kind of Zen answer where she kind of said, yes, this is a good body. This is fine. It works fine. And almost like she did a little check in her head and everything felt good. So
Yeah. I mean, she's happy. She's peaceful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just fell asleep as you guys were talking.
I know. Yeah, it's an unusual calmness for a dog, at least for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. We don't
Especially
really know
that.
where it came from.
But she's very content with it. She's very content with both of you. She feels comfortable with you and she fits in, sort of kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, should I
And she said she's, you know, she's not overly food motivated. When I asked her about, you know, her food and stuff, she said, yeah, it's fine. But she's not one of those that as soon as you feed her the food, she's wolfing it down. She's just like,
Yeah.
food is fuel, and
Yeah.
that's how she treats it.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we leave a bowl out for her at all times and she just kind of nibbles.
Whenever she
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Yep.
totally well. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Does that feel complete for you? Like we answered your question?
It does. No, it totally does. And it's like incredible how spot on it is. We actually we found her on the streets in Puerto Rico. She was weaving through traffic on the highway. And we basically found her, didn't know if she had an owner or whatever. It turned out she had been on the streets. She didn't have an owner. But yeah, her life was like very chaotic. Like she was a stray for the first part of her life. When we found her, she was very sick, and then yeah, we brought her over to the States, and now like that's partially why it's so surprising to us that she's so calm and she's so zen and all of that stuff because like she's never had training, she never lived in a house, like she was a stray dog that we found in Puerto Rico. It just so it's so interesting to hear you say that because like we've always been a little baffled by it, but you're seeing it too. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's a huge relief to her to
Yeah.
not have to worry. She just is like, this is great. I'm fine. They're fine.
I feel like she lived such a stressful life that she now finally has people who can take care of her and love her, that she can finally relax and doesn't have to sleep with one eye open, knowing what's going to happen to her. So yeah,
Right.
everything is spot on. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
this.
much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. She's
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have to look again.
Oh, you and I are up, Pamela.
Yes, and there's the raffle thing.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So we are at last call for the raffles, everyone. So if you like what you're seeing and you haven't bought raffles yet, you have between now and the end of the next reading that Pamela and I are going to do right now. So you have about 8 more minutes to go, and the link is in the chat if you want it. No pressure, but if you do, go buy your raffle tickets now to see if you can win a private reading with one of us. At the end of this event, it'll be announced. And so Pamela and I are going to spend the next, I don't know, 8-ish minutes doing a reading for the next person.
Okay, so I was wondering if Danielle, would you like to have a reading for your animal?
Yes, I would. Love that.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
the animal's name is Dennis. It's a boy. He is a dog. He's alive. And my question for you is um if he feels like he's healed from his life before me and how I can help him overcome it.
Okay. Not sure about
Okay.
Might, maybe, how do you feel about your adjustment to the life with you? Would that work? I'm not sure.
More specifically, I some of his behaviors indicate he's not past it. I don't know how to say
Okay.
this without too much information.
Okay,
No, that's
so
okay.
Does
So
that
you're
help?
seeing he's exhibiting behavior that you
okay.
would like to understand more about so
Tell
that
us
you
about
can
the
help him
behavior.
adjust. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and more like specifically from the
From the past.
trauma he's been through. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
Pamela, what if we asked him, what does Danielle need to know about what he needs now
exactly.
to help him adjust from the past?
Okay. Sometimes they block if
Yeah.
you ask them about their past, if it wasn't pleasant. So, um, yeah, more about how you're feeling about your situation now and how you're adjusting. Would that
Yeah.
work?
So what does he need now to adjust? We're not
Right.
going to ask him to share details about the past, but we know he has a past. It
Right.
may be he may be exhibiting some stuff because of his past, but what does he need now to adjust knowing he's had a past?
Okay. Sounds good.
Does that make sense?
Does that
Okay,
work,
cool.
Danielle? That makes sense to you?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, cool. All right, Dennis. And I just have to say, I've had 5 Dennises in my life that were all hamsters and 1 Denise. So Dennis has a very special meaning for me and a name because I had 5 Dennis hamsters and named them all
Oh my
Dennis. Every
gosh,
single
that's
one. So
incredible. He's a little bigger than a hamster, but
I'm sure he is. But it's just so funny how these things sync up. Okay, Dennis. Okay.
I am getting a little right away from Dennis that I mentioned behaviors, that you were talking about, Danielle, that he's saying, yes, there are things, there are times, there's certain things that happen, and I have like what do I want to say, like a trigger. They trigger some behaviors in him. I'm trying to get details on that right now, but he said, yes, there are things and there are behaviors, and sometimes it might be something you say or something that just happens there. So I'll see if he'll give me more information about that.
Okay, so while you're getting info, Pamela, I immediately heard Dennis the Menace, but not really. And so that's literally I heard Dennis the Menace, but not really. And then he brought me back, and this is all metaphor, but he brought me back to that show from when I was a kid, and there was that show Dennis the Menace, and this little kid just kind of got ahead of himself in all kinds of ways and got himself into trouble. But really didn't mean it. It came from a place of trying to figure things out, but not having the wherewithal to know the way to figure things out. And there's a little bit of, and he also makes me feel like his energy is a little bit ADHD sometimes. Does that make sense to you, Danielle? Okay, good. So
yeah.
he's on the right track with us. So I'm just going to let him keep unfolding this.
Okay, I did get something about when you're interacting with him that he has some insecurities about how he's doing and if he'll be able to stay with you because it's better than what the other was, which he won't look at. For example, he would like to know when he's doing things that are okay, when he's doing something the right way. And reassurance, you're okay, you're okay. Also reassurance in that if you go somewhere that he'll be okay, like on a walk. If you're going to leave, that you're coming back. He wants you to talk to him a lot. He listens when you talk. He's trying to learn what all the things you mean when you talk. Does that make sense? Have you seen that?
Yeah. We always joke he speaks English, so I think that resonates a lot with us.
Yeah, he's really trying with that, but he also, it's important to him that you let him know things, like if, like I said, if you're going somewhere, to tell him you're coming back.
Mm.
He doesn't, you don't have to tell him what time or anything because they don't really get that, but just knowing that. And whenever he seems like, I guess there's kind of an almost an edgy kind of behavior that he's showing me sometimes comes on when he's sort of feeling like he's not sure what to do.
Mhm.
That would be a time to say, you're okay, or this is okay.
Yeah. I do get a little bit of extra like palpitations in my chest. Like when you have a little bit of anxiety, it kind of you feel a little overwhelmed in the moment by things. Um, and I just want to like, I don't know, there's just something about him. There's a sweetness to him under that. I just want to hug him and say, it's gonna be okay, buddy. It's okay. And I don't know what kind of a breed he is, but it's like he's bringing through, like, again, it could be metaphor, but you know how people just think pit bulls are like these crazy dogs, but they're the sweetest little muffins ever. But they just come in these bodies where you think you should be afraid of them. There's something about his sweetness and his house that he lives in physically that maybe don't totally sync up. Does that make sense to you, Danielle?
Yeah, yeah, totally.
And so there's that going on too for him, where he's such a sweetie pie. But there's a part of him that really needs some help feeling soothed. And
Hmm.
it really is soothed. It's almost, he's showing it to me like if he were a cat, he'd be the one
I
that's
think,
kneading and sucking on stuff to soothe himself,
yeah,
but he's not a cat.
I think that's part of my question is how to help him through that,
Yep. Um,
Because I think the basic ways trainers say to help a dog with behavior issues are not really, they don't always relate to our relationship, I
yeah.
think.
So for some reason, his brain gets triggered into not feeling safe very easily. Not that
Mhm.
you're reading that for him, but he has this weird like zing into his amygdala, probably from stuff from the past, where something starts to feel unstable. I feel the heat in the middle of my head start to warm up really fast. And then I get
Mhm.
ahead of myself like a Dennis the Menace, where I'm not really sure what to do with all the extra energy. And I might as well just shred the couch because I don't really know what to do with what is going on in me. Um, so there's a bit of that going on but I also have a really strong sniffer. He's making me feel like I'm him. And
Mhm.
I want to sniff stuff. And
Mhm.
so um, I actually think that some combination, and again, I'm not a vet, I'm not prescribing you guys. So this is just what I've learned from people like this. Maybe work with a holistic vet or someone who can work with aromas to help soothe the brain and calm the brain. There is actually a company that creates herb filled calming collars that you can
Mhm.
actually put around his neck. They're really soft, but they have a lot of aromatherapy in them that creates like really calming stimulus to the brain and the amygdala. So we can, when I'm not reading, I'll put that for you in the chat to look up. But I've heard some really great things about those collars, and also the right CBD combination of treats and drops might actually help him.
Mhm.
Um, because I'm also getting from him. I don't know. Did somebody tell you to try Prozac? Because I'm feeling like there's something around thinking about trying Prozac, but all I'm getting from him is he's afraid that what's going to happen is his brain is going to get disconnected from his emotions, but he's still going to have all these emotions, but he's not going to have the capacity to do anything with it. So the Prozac actually isn't going to help him move through the trauma and rewire and calm the brain stimulus. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. I mean, for a short reading, that's about all I can say at the moment, but
Yeah. No,
it sounds
that's
like
very
you might need a
accurate.
longer reading with someone.
Mhm.
But does that help for the moment?
Yeah, that's really helpful. It's very interesting that you can that I mean it's very true. You can see it. He's a very you can see his body language change. He's very like switched to change to
Yeah.
he gets overwhelmed really easily. Goes
Yep.
up to it overstimulated and then we have to come back down all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
I
very
did get
accurate.
one more thing
Go for it.
that might be helpful. And showing me that, and it also goes with him speaking English. He does listen to you when you talk about this, about your concerns about him and his behaviors, and he listens to that. And it's like animals can think in pictures. So if you're picturing things, he picks up on that too. So that might be one of those times when if you notice that he's, watching you or getting anxious or something, and you've been talking, like, what do we do? What should I do about this? It's natural that we would do that, but he does hear that, and he does, might be the time to reassure him and say, you're okay, we're just working on this together or whatever.
Yeah.
I think you would know the words to say, but it's very important to him that you talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so interesting. A lot of people say less so that they know that you're communicating to them, like in general training. I think that's what
Yeah.
most people recommend. But I've always talked to him a lot because I think he understands me. So it's interesting that you're saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope that was helpful, Danielle. I'll put the link for that calming collar and actually a really good CBD company in the chat for you and for anyone
Yeah.
else who wants it when I'm
Thank you
done.
so much.
Okay. So I think we're done with the raffles, right? So we're going to close the raffles now as we wrap up that part of the event. And we're going to move on now to our next reading, which will be me and Donna.
Okay, awesome.
Donna, do you feel like picking? Are you being called or drawn to anyone in particular?
There is a lady named Colleen. Colleen, would you like a reading? Need you to unmute, dear. There you go.
It's my cat. His name is Avi. He's a boy.
How do you spell his name?
Avi.
Avi. Okay.
Avi. Okay.
And I would like to know how he's doing.
And he's
with
alive,
me.
you said?
He's alive, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And in what way, what do you mean by how is he doing?
He hasn't, I adopted him about 8 months ago.
Okay.
So I just want to know how he's doing physically. He's had a physical issue
Okay.
since I got him. But just if he's happy, I guess, too. If he's happy here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. And we want to know. All right. So just give us a minute to connect in with Avi.
Okay.
All right.
So when Avi comes into my space, Colleen, he comes in really relaxed, just kind of moseying up, and he's showing me an image of him like stretched out on a counter or something. It's a hard surface. It's just stretched out and lounging and having just super zen. It's really chill. I don't know. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, that's usually how he is. But
Yeah, and
ever since I've been on this call, he's been kind of running around and being like very active, which is not like him normally. So I didn't know if he was feeling your vibes or something.
yeah.
Yeah, that happens
You
a
know
lot,
when
actually.
things are coming down the pipe. Yeah. Sorry, Karen, go ahead.
That's so funny. Yeah, he walked in. He's so funny. He's such a casual dude. He walked in, he dropped in front of me like a cat will drop and lift a leg and just start cleaning. Like he's playing the cello or the violin, No, the cello, right? One leg goes up and there they go. He like stopped, dropped, and started cleaning in front of me in my head and made me laugh.
Oh,
he's so funny. He doesn't feel very big to me. He could be a huge boy, but in the way he presents to me is he feels energetically like more compact.
He is pretty, I mean, he's solid. He's not fat or anything, but he's about 12 pounds.
All right, so he's medium. Yep.
He's right here. Should I bring him to the screen?
You don't need to. We don't need
Oh,
to.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we don't need to bother him.
Okay.
But his energy feels compact. And I
Yeah.
think this is going to help me when I dig into like what is going on. What do we need to know physically? Because there's something about a compact energy in his body that
Okay.
might be a clue. So I'm just going to
Okay.
hone in on that some more while Donna continues.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's presenting with young cat energy, like he's not an older guy. He's an adult, but he's a young adult, is what it feels like to me. I don't know if you have any idea how old he is, but he feels.
They told me he was about 11.
Oh,
And I don't
well,
really know what his life was like before, but I know he was rescued he was almost euthanized.
Okay.
I'm sorry, was that too much?
No,
Sorry.
no.
Okay.
it's okay, but he's showing me how strong he is and how, how fit he feels, that he thinks he's overall, he feels like he's in good shape.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So I know you're concerned about some issues, so I will let Karen take over and I'll tune in and see what I can get.
Okay, so when I ask an animal to like, what we all do is it's called body mapping, where we ask the animal to let us feel on our body how they feel on their inside their body. And when I'm picking up from him is a couple of things, and because I have that Chinese energy medicine background, I always they always light up my meridians. So, Colleen, do you know anything about acupuncture at
Yes,
all?
a little bit. Yes, I do.
So he's lighting up for me the liver meridian, which is the liver organ is the one that kind of clears the toxins or clears the stuff out of the body. And I feel warm in my liver meridian, and I also feel kind of warm in my large intestine meridian. And I feel like I need the compact thing is I'm feeling like the heat in my liver meridian that that as if it's overworking right now to clear some stuff out. I'm guessing probably when you adopted him, they probably revaccinated him. They had to give him all the vaccinations again.
Yeah.
They may be a lot for his older system.
Oh, okay.
And the compactness I'm feeling is the like compactness in this area of the body. So if you may want to look at doing a little bit of a liver detox for him with some natural herbs. If you find like a Chinese medicine vet or somebody who's a little more holistic to just help clear out some of the stuff that feels heat, because I'm also feeling a little bit of pressure down in my bladder urinary area as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of the same thing. In addition to what's happening in the abdominal area, for me, I'm also feeling like a little soreness in the back of the throat, like swallowing it. And it feels like he's past it for the most part now, but there's still a little residual soreness in the back of his throat.
Okay.
Could have been from allergies.
Okay.
Do you know his latest blood tests? They're all okay.
He's a little bit high. His kidney values are a little bit high, but not so far, not high enough to start special kidney food or fluids or anything. But that was the one thing that they pointed out to me that might be an issue.
I'm going to put another product in the list for you guys. The Two Crazy Cat Ladies.
Okay.
Go look at their products. They make some fantastic products. When I adopted my cat Noche at 6 years old, they told me the same thing. And he's now 12 and his kidney levels are back to normal.
Oh, that's so good.
Species appropriate diet helps. Clean, no kibble if possible. And the Two Crazy Cat Ladies make a product called Catalyst and another one called Urinary Cat. Urinary Cat Plus, those two combined are like superpower for urinary stuff and kidney stuff.
Oh, okay.
To just help clean. And Melanie, thank you, Mel. She already put the link in the chat. They make some great products and videos for you to watch as well about this.
What was the second one called? You said Catalyst and
Urinary Cat Plus, I think is what it's called.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, because I am
Yeah,
feeling that
cool.
heat in that area and the liver needing a bit of a detox. So
Okay.
yeah, I think that might help some of
Oh,
this.
thank you.
Good.
He's a cool dude though. He's really got a really forward, cool personality. He's like, I know who I am.
Hmm.
Very
Just said, I know
positive.
who I am.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's
happy to be
great.
where he is. So yeah.
Yeah.
Does that feel
Um,
complete for you, Colleen?
Yes, thank you. That was very helpful. Does it seem
Good.
like he's happy?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, and he also wanted me to say to you, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was really
Yeah.
nice. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
Now that he's been heard, maybe he'll settle again.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're
Yeah, of
welcome.
course. Thank you.
I'll try to bring him to the screen before we say goodbye.
Okay, that would be great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so Jody and Pamela are going to do the next reading.
Hey, Pamela, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Was there anybody in particular, Pamela, that you were drawn to?
Um, I did have,
It'd be interesting if it was the same people or person that I was drawn to, because then that would just be like the icing on the cake.
but if I pick the same one usually,
Yes.
I had Heather.
Oh, I didn't
I'm
have Heather.
not sure how to say the last name. Show?
Heather.
Is Heather still here?
I'm
I
here.
see. Hi, Heather.
Would you like to have a reading for your animal?
Awesome. Awesome. So we just need to know, or Pamela, the animal's name. Yep. Oop. Heather, where'd you go?
Yeah, I can't find Heather. I had the,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. So I have a question.
Well, what's the animal's name that you would?
So I have a medicine drum, and I'm interested in knowing about the animal that that drum was made from. So I don't know the name, but if that's not a choice, then I can pick one of my past animals.
Yeah, if you could probably choose one of the past animals, I think that might be better.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah, because it's interesting because sometimes when I see people, I get animals right away. And it's interesting to see who you choose. I wasn't expecting the drum, the animal that was the drum. So if you have an animal, like a pet that you've had, we can
Mhm.
start there.
Um, Sorry, I'm gonna cry.
It's okay. It's okay. If you don't feel comfortable, Heather, that's okay too, okay?
No, my dog Haley.
Haley? Okay. And it was female?
Mhm.
Female dog. And Haley is crossed in spirit?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get that, Pamela?
I did. Is there
And
a,
what's the question that you'd like us to ask her?
Mm, I'd like to know who she's with.
Like different other energies that she's with?
Of my family members that have also crossed.
Okay.
Want to know that she's with them.
Okay. How does that feel with you, Pamela?
and I'm trying to see if it's going to be too specific, but like maybe just a general feeling of how she's doing, or who she's with. I guess that would just work. Like I feel like I'll get more of a group kind of thing.
Yeah, so sometimes, and I agree, Pamela, sometimes they don't show us specifically who they are. I usually get, and some of my colleagues know as I call them cucumber people. And so their energies, it's just the term that my guides have given me. And then sometimes it might be a feeling that I get. Are there one, are there five, are there six, are there 20? Are you in a crowd? But as Pamela said, it's usually kind of like a collective opposed to a specific person. Does that make sense, Heather?
Mm-hmm.
So we can just see how she's doing kind of in spirit and on the other side and who's with her.
Okay.
That sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So just give us a moment and we're going to connect in with Haley.
I get right away the first thing when I was trying to put that into words, and she said, I'm with you mostly, that she's mostly with you. And that I also get the sense that you knew this, that you're able to sense when she's with you. Like, no?
No, I haven't felt her at all. Yeah.
What?
So
I
Heather,
think,
oh,
yeah,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm kind of getting from her, no, she does know. So it's kind of, it's like things will make you think of her and then she'll be there. So it's almost like I feel her here, like being near you here. So I'll find out more about that.
Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead.
So Heather, when I connect in with Haley, immediately there's this flash of white that I see. It's a brilliant, brilliant flash of white. And then I'm seeing there's this swirling, and all I can think of, I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show Outlander, but it's in the opening credits where there's dancing druids and they're swirling like this. They're doing a dance, and it's so this is what she's showing me, meaning, and kind of going along with Pamela, she's around you, and it's this very beautiful, delicate, brilliant dance of light, and kind of almost it's swirling like this, and there's so much and it's interesting that you mentioned the drum because the vibration is very calming, like almost like a heartbeat is what I'm hearing in my ear. So this swirl, she's around you and it's swirling kind of almost like the dance of a druid, to where it's very earthy, very comforting and soothing, like a heartbeat, like she's right there. And to go along, it's okay, God. She's talking about to feel her, you hear your heartbeat. So when your heartbeat is doing that thunk, 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 that is her kind of around you. Does that make sense? So it's not necessarily a sound that you would hear, but when you quiet and hear, you close your eyes so you can hear the vibration of your heart or hear your heartbeat, that's her. Because the love that she has still for you and everything that you've done is that dance of light. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily like hearing it, you may think, oh, I'm just hearing my heartbeat. That's her. And the more that you are in a state of like quieting the mind and connecting with your heart, it gets louder and you can feel it like in your body, in your presence, this the thunk, the thunk. And it's so warm, and she still is the sweetest thing ever. Like I just want to like kiss her and just go like this because I just want to grab her and like give her like little snuggles. I don't know where that came from, but snuggles. I don't even know if that's a word. But I just want to give her like she's the sweetest little thing, and I want to grab her and just give her snuggles, if that's what word is. I don't even know if it's a word, but that was the word she. But does that make sense about feeling her, hearing your heartbeat? Like when you hear it, so some people, the can't kind of like hear it,
I
but
hear
you,
it every night. Every night.
okay, good. So that's that dance, that very delicate light dance. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, that's her. That's her.
I was getting about how it is when she is with you and why it's difficult for you to be aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing is that some of the things that Jody was just saying would be very helpful for this to begin with, to sort of calm down and think about your heartbeat or something else, because what I'm getting is that when you sense that she's there, you immediately kind of get emotional, and or just wishing that she was there, or just wishing that you could figure out when she was there. And then sometimes the emotion, that energy is so strong that it's difficult for her to just be there and be relaxed with you. So maybe doing the things where when you start to feel that emotion again is probably when she is trying to just be with you. So taking that time, calming down a little, and that'll help you, take the emotion down a little, and then it's easier. At least this is what she's showing me, that would be, that you can do it. You kind of do know she's there, but it's almost like you're too quick to just say, no, it isn't, and then get upset about it. Does that make sense to you, that happens?
Yeah, I just miss her so much that it's when I think about her, still it gets overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely trying to learn how to be aware of what does come to me in ways that I can recognize them. So,
Yeah, and it's very hard because, saying that the more emotional you are, the more difficult it is, to just make that open connection, because that will take time.
mhm.
But some of these things, like Jody was saying, to just think of your heartbeat and just be aware that, she's there, she's patient, she loves you, she wants to let you know she's there. But it'll take a little time, I think. But
Yeah.
Heather, she's giving me little heart palpitations, which is it's kind of tickling me a little bit. So that's why I'm kind of like, ooh, that, and it's just like that, just like the wind, she says. It's kind of just like that. So when I asked her about her transition to the other side, what was that like? Like who did she meet, or who did she see? Immediately she's showing me two images. The Good Hands with Allstate, this little thing. That's the first image she's showing me, like the Good Hands Allstate. And I know if everybody does Qigong, you know what this means. Thank you, Karen. So that's the first image she shows me when I ask her that question, like good hands. And then she's showing me the outer hands. I know you can't really see it. Immediately, the word embrace. She was embraced by this whole comfort of coming home, kind of like when you go home, you are now embraced with the comfort of home. So when I ask her, she's not specifically, but I do feel that there was a circle of like energies embracing. So it wasn't just one individual that kind of was there. It was more, and I'm getting goose pimples right now. And I'm like, so I know I'm really like beyond, this feeling is amazing, Heather. So the embrace and the comfort of going home. That's the first thing. And then good hands with Allstate as the second thing. And there were some energies that she didn't recognize, but because they knew you, she felt the comfort from them. Does that make sense? Like she didn't know them here, but because they knew you, they were like this, welcoming and embracing her. And so she's like, oh, okay. Like, oh, you know Heather. That's not what she said, but it was like, oh, you knew Heather. It's good. It's good to be here, kind of thing. So there was this calm and this peace of going home and having that embrace by all of your connections, even ancestors, spirit guides, people that you've never even met or she's met were there. Does that make sense? So again, there's a collective, but there was, she's calling it an entourage, which is quite funny. Like the Heather entourage. She's got a little bit of humor to her too. That's why she was telling me the word of like the schnuggles and whatever. But there was an embrace from this entourage of this feeling of coming home, comfort, peace, and just, oh, I don't know you, but I'm glad to be here. And there was also gratitude for her, from her to this collective. Well, thank you for showing up. You didn't have to. And it was almost like, well, you know Heather, so I'm going to be here. So it was like that kind of thing. Oh, thank you so much. So there's a huge feeling of gratitude from her to be home and to feel this embrace from everybody who is in apparently your entourage. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Anytime. I just want to snuggle her. Somebody's gonna have to look up that word because I don't even know if that's even a word. If it is, cool. Pamela, are you getting anything else?
I did actually ask her who, at one point, who was there? Was there someone there? You know, when what you asked before, and I saw, it felt like a cat, that were animals. That there was a cat that was there that she knew.
Yeah, her best friend and brother, Pippin.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't get a name, but there was a cat waiting there for her, so.
Does that help answer your question, Heather?
Yeah, thank you so much.
I'm so, so sorry. We're sending you love and light, and she is right here with you. So when you hear that heartbeat in your chest, in your ear, however, or even when you're doing your drum, feel it in, in your body, in your presence, because she's right there, right beside you, like Pamela said.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen.
Yeah. Well, we are at time, everybody. Boy, this went fast tonight. We had a lot of beautiful messages. Can't thank you all enough for holding space for each other because not everybody gets a reading, but I'm going to guess that some of the messages that came through made sense to those of you who didn't actually get a reading because the animals are definitely working in cahoots to make sure that the broader themes that come through make sense for more than who are getting the readings. So give yourself a little time to contemplate that and see if some of the things that the animals shared made sense for you as well. Okay. So with that, we are wrapped up with this portion of the event, and I'm going to hand it over to Lauren to do some final words and to quickly say who's winning those raffles.
That was so cool. I am every single time. I mean, I've seen this before. I know how this works, but every single time I feel like I'm just like jaw dropped, like really amazing. So thank you guys so much. And knowing some of these dogs individually and knowing things about them and being like, that checks, like, it's just really cool. So thank you to you ladies from the collective for doing this for us. This is so fun. And I got word that I think it was $1,600 raised doing this event, which is freaking huge and so amazing. I know. So thank you. It means everything to us, means everything to the volunteers who give so much of their time to healing these dogs, means so much to the dogs themselves, obviously. So Karina's going to jump in and do the raffle, actually, like the spinning wheel, I believe. Are you on here still, Karina?
Did Karina turn into a little cute guinea pig?
Karina,
I don't know who Karina is. It's me, Karina, the pineapple. This is going to let us here.
I've missed this.
We're all set up. Look at all those names I had to put in there. That took me forever. I'm a freaking guinea pig after all. I can't even use a computer. We're ready to go. Total 218 entries.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. Love it. Love it. Karina, you look back.
Our first winner is Eric.
Oh, Karina, you got to speak into the, we can't hear you.
Our first winner is Erica Fiore. I'm not sure if you can see this very well, but let's go ahead and do the next one.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Kilma, say hi. Our second winner is Rachel Murphy. Congratulations.
Wow, congratulations. Rachel Murphy. Awesome.
Our third winner is Allison Warner.
Good. Awesome. Congratulations, Allison.
Our fourth winner is Christina Rosnick. One more to go. Oh no, I'm kid. Danielle, yes. Well, that sure was exciting. Thank you all so much.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, everyone who won. I think everybody was actually here who won, which is really cool as well. So as we wrap up and we thank everyone for coming, we just want to remind you, if you didn't get a reading tonight, if you didn't win a reading from all your raffles, and you still want to spend a little more money, if you book a reading with one of us privately, we will give back 15% of the proceeds. We'll continue to give back 15% of the proceeds to the animal pad through December 15th. So as long as you book a reading with us by December 15th, even if the reading is in the new year, doesn't matter. As long as you book it by December 15th, we will be giving back 15% of any readings that we get. So please tell us that you heard about us through this event or that you were at this event so that we know to give back that donation to Lauren and the animal pad as we go forward. And so, Lauren, any last words before we say goodbye for the evening?
Just thank you guys so much. Danielle and I were texting and we were saying, we need to know more from Dennis. So that felt really weirdly meant to be as well. So this is so cool. We're really
very
excited.
excited.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But thank you guys so much. Thank you to the collective ladies. You guys are awesome as always. And I can't wait. Oh, Pearl, we're going to talk to Pearl in a few weeks.
Yes, we are. We're going to do another live chat with Pearl.
In a few weeks too. Yeah, we're excited. So much more to come with you guys. Thank you so much. And then thank you to all the participants, all of you guys for being here. It just supports everything that we do and really is so helpful and fun. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.